my feelings are just stable. And the stability is not normal for women. Understand that. And because of that, they need something out of the ordinary, and that is a bad man. But bad men became such ordinary human beings out here that good men are the bad guys, and women don't want that anymore. Although girls do know that they're getting treated like shit, they accept it. What I do, what is up, my BBossBaddies and my Batman fellas? It is your girl Bosana, and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about why women can't handle a good man. Okay, so this I never did. I'm trying to get things that I haven't did ever on this channel. So also you guys should know, make sure you drop the comments down below of the type of things you would like to see, because I'm just going to continue pushing out videos nearly every single day. Okay, so I just want to say thank you, last thing, because you guys always keep me pushing. And of course, make sure you check out my Patreon. I'm gonna say it later on, but make sure you do, because I do have extra videos on there, right? You guys already know the routine. Make sure you follow me on my social media, make sure you check out my Patreon, and of course make sure you check out my other social media. So you guys already know we start from 5, go down to 1, so that means what? You gotta watch until the end to get the number 1 thing. Okay, so number 5 on my list is submissive to their sis instead of submissive to their man. So why a woman can't handle a good man because of that is because their friends are going to be put first no matter what. Every single problem that she has with her man, that good man, she's going to find, and let's say this, because good men are good men, right? They do good things, all that stuff. Although we're all not perfect, with a good man, she's still gonna find things to complain about all the time. It's always gonna be an issue. So when she goes back to her friend, it's gonna be complaining about, oh well, he's too this, he's too that. And it's not even bad things about you, but when I explain the other stuff that I'm about to explain to you guys are gonna be like, you know, that's just how women are, right? So these are the issues, and now it's causing her to feel like, oh, this is the problem with you, this is why you're like this. And so now she's going to her best friend, her sister, and saying that, yo, this is a problem with them, I'm having all these issues, and she's just complaining so much about you. And it's like, instead of talking to you about the problems and all the issues that she's having with you and the relationship that you guys have, she can't do that because she's so submissive to her friend. And a lot of girls don't even notice the fact that they're so submissive to their best friend, aka sis, right? You guys probably hear that term all the time now. Okay, sis, you know, I say all the time, right? So you guys probably don't even notice that their best friends are getting picked first, and that they rather do things for their best friend, rather give their all to their best friend, pick their best friend first, devote their whole relationship to their best friend. Anything that you guys are expecting to happen in the relationship, instead of it happening it to the man, that whole submissiveness, it's not happening towards the man. Her commitment is towards her best friend, her sister. Okay, so why women can't handle a good man with that point? Like I just said, a lot of girls out here don't want to choose a man over their best friend. Or maybe it's just like the mans, they have this mentality that they build up for so long. All men are this, all men are that. And I told you guys in the past that a lot of girls will say all men are this, especially the miserable ones, to their best friend, and they convince their best friend that this is how you should feel about men because of the fact that they can't get no man, right? So it's like, if I'm in this situation, you should be in this situation, or I'm going to tell you how. They just listen so much to the outside world, and they can never listen to their inner self. They can't listen to their own mentality because they don't have their own mind. So it's like, even if you're a good man, don't matter who you are, she's always submitting to her friend. You could do the most, you could make her feel so good, she's gonna run back to her best friend, tell her, and instantly her friend can, let's say, hypnotize her and make her feel like you're the worst person in the world, or she shouldn't be with you anymore. Okay, so that's one big reason. Although it's number 5, it's a big reason. Next point on my list is too used to a bad man. And we all know this, girls always run back to the bad men. So what happens is that they can't handle a good man because all they want is a bad man. So all the things that is good qualities about a good man to her, she finds like, no, I don't want that. You know, he's so boring, there's no excitement, and there's so many excuses that she's creating because she just wants that bad man. And although girls do know that they're getting treated like shit, they accept it. So it's like, oh, well, nothing's happening that's crazy right now. Oh, he's treating me so good. And to them, it's like, too boring. It's like, I need something that's gonna drive me crazy, something that's gonna make me cry. And I told you guys about the whole roller coaster effect, and a lot of females can admit to this. They can say that the whole roller coaster effect of feeling angry, upset, and going back and forth with their feelings, the second you don't have that, it becomes like, okay, well, I'm not really feeling much. My feelings are just stable, and the stability is not normal for women. Understand that. And because of that, they need something out of the ordinary, and that is a bad man. But bad men became such ordinary human beings out here that good men are the bad guys, and women don't want that anymore, right? So let's move on to the next thing on my list, is not knowing the difference between a good man and a simp. So this kind of relates back to the number 4, too used to a bad man, because you get so used to what is out there, what everybody's with, and what you've been with so much, and you start feeling like, okay, that's fine. And although it's not just because they decide to get used to it, it's just like you just fit into what everybody else is doing. A lot of girls like to put the characteristics of a simp into a good man. Now, there's a lot of simps out here that feel like, oh, well, I'm just a good guy, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy. Meanwhile, it's not because they're a good guy, they're actually doing simp things, right? So for women, they still get it confused themselves as to some men, right? But for girls, they're just gonna automatically think, because you're not a bad man, oh, well, you're becoming a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp, right? So the girls that can't handle a bad man, they're putting any guy that is not a bad man into the simp category. Therefore, I can't give you any time of the day, you're not my type of guy, I can't handle you, I don't want you in my life. So they're choosing to be with a bad guy instead of being with a good guy, because they feel like automatically you are a simp if you are a good man. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Number 2 on my list is way too much inner issues. Now, I had to put way too much because there is way too much problems, right? A lot of girls can have some things that they need to adjust on, a lot of things that they need to work on. And when they get into a relationship, they meet a man where, that man might be patient with her, or, they're working on things together, trying to make it get somewhere, trying to make it work. But the girls that have so much inner issues and refuse to make it work, they will never get nowhere. So the girls that can, let's talk about that real quick. The girls that can, they can get somewhere with this man. They can learn to submit. They can learn to grow in this relationship and understand the inner issues that they need to work on. But let's move on to the girls that have so much inner issues and refuse to work on that. They have way too much. So when it comes down to a good man, a good man, not a simp, okay? A good man will know if you're not getting treated right, you still gotta leave. A simp will still stay, right? So in that case, when they're dealing with that woman that's so bad for them, a good man leaves, right? But for that woman, when it comes down to way too much inner issues, she's gonna actually leave because she can't handle that good man, because it's like, oh, well, I have this problem. It could be so many little things because it's all inner issues. And mainly the stuff to say is that insecurities, let's say, past trauma, things like that, anything that's just affecting their feelings and the way they feel, how the relationship is functioning, is the inner issues. And it's all brought to life because of the way that she can't handle that inner life, because she's so used to all of this going so wrong. And then there's so many problems in her life, and that a bad man can accept her. Although he treats her so bad, he accepts her, and they have their own problems, but that's it. She still has inner issues. She never got to work on them. She never did work on them, and she's still battling her inner issues, and it's gonna carry on for the rest of her life until, a girl can build confidence, work on herself, stop messing with so many guys, being a hoe, being for the streets. All that stuff is creating them to be worse than what they are. And if girls can't get away from that, then of course they're gonna stay in that inner issue problem. So that's a key thing. They have so much inner issues, and it's all this stuff that they need to work on. So it's like the second they have a good guy, they don't know how to handle that. It's too much. They don't know what to do with him, and they run back to the typical bad guy for them. And so let's move on to the last thing on my list, and this is society or social media rules them. Now, I have a track. It talks just about basically falling in love for a thotty, right? And it's called Almost Slip. And one of the lyrics that he talks about, he says, jumping on jets, you're too caught up in the life. They gas you on Instagram, you too caught up in the hype. Now, the lyrics are not exactly the same, but what you get from right there, all the validation, all the likes, all the guys telling her she's this beautiful, it goes straight to her. ego straight to her head, and she's so caught up in that lifestyle that a man can't come into her life and take her away from that. You know, the guys that can afford to do this to her and give her all this money, she's gonna forever choose that because she's so caught up in that lifestyle. And social media rules her because she can't get that amount of likes, or she can't do these certain things because of that has to do with social media. It's not good enough. Her value is gonna go down, and that's the sucky part. Like, it's sad because basically a man doesn't give her value, society gives her value, everybody except the right things give her value. So for her, forever it's gonna be, well, I'm gonna choose that. No matter how good of a man you are, she can't handle you because what she turns to is not you, okay? So I hope this video helped you guys out, and if it did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you follow me on my social media. Make sure you check out my Patreon, and of course, make sure you are subscribed with that post notification on, and give me a big thumbs up like I always say. So you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.